Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Hub channel. Mike, good morning. I know it's evening for you, but good to see you.
You too. Good morning to you, brother. Yeah, I live in Costa Rica
Well,
right now. It's mid-afternoon for us, late afternoon. So it's good to be here.
yeah, look, that was one of the things that I've always admired about what you've done with your trading. I guess for people watching, Mike and I have known each other for a long, long time. And Mike has been a successful trader and kind of living the dream, really, in Costa Rica. Sun, surf, and that island lifestyle, but trading and making money. It's good stuff, Mike.
Yeah, as long as I got internet, I can do what I do. So I tend to travel a lot. I lived in Sydney, as you know, for a while, and all over the states. And as long as I have internet, I can do what I do. So I said, Costa Rica, why
Yeah.
not?
Well, the reason I was actually going to say it's great to have you back on the channel, but you're on the channel more than I am. You're on every week. And the reason that we've got you back today is we wanted to have a bit of a chat with you about the AI signals that we are launching soon. You've had the benefit of having them for quite some time and trading with them. And I just thought it would be an interesting conversation for people to be able to hear from somebody who, number one, is a pro trader, but number two, has had the benefit of trading with these signals for a while. So I thought we might touch on some of that ground and also get you to show us a few of the trades that you've done with the AI signals and talk about how you set them up. So how's that sound?
It sounds great. Let's do it.
All right. Well, I guess first and foremost, I'm going to talk a little bit about how the AI signals work. So before we dive into talking about any actual trades and the specific trades that you may have set up, the background for people who might be listening and saying, well, what is this AI trading business? To try and explain it at a really high level, what we do is we take signals that we have been generating out of our HUBB software services for a long, long time. We feed them to the AI, but we also feed the AI a ton of additional information. So I like to say, if you think about yourself as a individual human technical analyst, what you might be doing is looking at a chart, and maybe you've got two or three indicators under that chart that you commonly use, and maybe you've got a similar setup on the indice or the broad market index for that. And that's probably about all that people are doing, Mike. If you're doing your own technical analysis and trying to find a trade, right? But when it comes to the AI, think about it this way. The AI is looking at probably 100 indicators under that chart, but it's also looking at 100 indicators under every stock in the market at the same time and comparing the values on all of those indicators for every stock in the market at the same time. But not only that, it's also calculating the relative performance of different assets and benchmarks, comparing all the stocks to them. It's checking out the options pricing. It's checking out the options liquidity and volatility. It's also got a model of the economy, so it understands which phase of the economy that we might be in. Are we in growth? Are we in inflation? So it's just an incredible amount of information that the AI can process and bring to bear when making a decision about a signal. So I'm really interested to just sort of hear how you found working with the AI and looking at those signals.
Yeah, we've been doing these credit spreads. We use credit spreads to maximize our probability of profit. And we started using these signals, JP, probably, 2, 3 months ago. And we simply took the trades based on the signals. And our win rate has matched what I've done historically, which is about 90% accuracy, 90% wins. Average gain was about 15% every 5 days. And what I was doing before was about 90% wins and only 10% every 7 days. So I was very pleased to see the kind of performance that these signals are bringing in. And, knowing that their signals are based on the economy, comparing other stocks, all the things. It's true AI from what I can tell. And it's just been ringing the bell. It's fantastic.
That's awesome. I'm very pleased to hear it. You guys did share some results with me, and we've had other traders using this kind of technology for some years now, actually. But it's great when we bring somebody new in and they kind of have that aha moment of, wow, look at what additional value this AI can add. And you still have to be a professional trader. You still have to be an expert in your own field. The AI doesn't take away the job that you do as a trader, and all of the benefits that you bring to your subscribers. But what it's doing is it's giving you signals that have a higher probability of being a successful trade, right? That's basically the job that it's doing for you.
Correct. Exactly. Yeah, and I can
Yeah.
show you an example of a trade we did on Chevron. One of the many strategies I use is a credit spread where you place it at a distance where it's going to be really hard to lose. All right. So this signal, as JP points out, suggests that the stock should get to 172.48. But even if it fails, it should stay above 155.70. Now, we placed the trade, JP, on this day here. And then this is Chevron. And then the oil market tanked, brought Chevron down with it. All right. Now, what we do is instead of playing long and going for the home run, what we like to do in this particular strategy, I call it snipers, is to put basically a line in the sand. Now, this is a sort of a generic way to think about it. So on this day here, I said, man, the stock's probably going to hit 172.48, but I really doubt it's going to close down below this support level. And so we put on a credit spread trade that would profit anywhere above 157.50. Now, the next day, the stock starts coming down and came down again. Then we have this pattern here where the stock tested this red line here, which is the 50-day average, and then has bounced. Had I bought a call option here to trade the stock bullishly, I'd be losing money on that option. But I still have, I think we have about a week left. And this trade will generate an 11% profit in a matter of 7-10 days or so, provided the stock just stays above 157.50 by expiration. And our expiration dates we pick are usually 2 weeks out. So it's short term, super high probability. We also check news from time to time, and the stock had good news as well. And this trade, although here it looked like we might get into trouble, the stock bounces and we're going to be fine. This one looks destined for yet another profit. And at JP, as you know, we've been doing a Thursday show on the HUBB channel, and we're currently at 16 straight wins, doing only one trade a week. So that's 4 months, no losers. And it's because of the probability. We take less money and we exchange that for, at the trade when we placed it, the stock could go up. We're going to make money. Stock can drop. We're still going to make money as long as it doesn't go below this line, and sideways we make money as well. So up, profit, sideways profit, and down profit, provided it doesn't drop all the way down and close beneath 157.50. So all of that stacked together with the AI signals provides exceptional probability of profit. It's really amazing. I'm really happy you got these signals, JP. They've made a huge difference.
Yeah, that's awesome, Mike. And I think the 16 wins is also pretty damn awesome. I've been following that show since you started. I know originally you were on the channel with Brandon, now you do the show yourself. And it's just quite amazing. If people haven't subscribed and are following the trades that you're doing there each week, they need to get on board with that. And I guess a couple of questions around how you're using the AI. What would you say has been the greatest impact on your trading, or the greatest benefit that you've come out of using the AI so far?
Yeah, I'd say the main point is that it's very discrete, right? It's objective. And so when we see a pattern like this one, where that number is an 82, anything over 80% suggests that the stock will probably go up, but even if it drops, we can make some good money on this trade, a short-term 10, 11% profit. And so that's a big one. And so it's very discrete. We could look at signals that, are bearish signals that have an 82% probability of profit, and then we can sell above. And so the main one is that the signals work and they're discrete. So anything above 80% suggests that the bullish pattern will continue. Anything lower than 30% suggests that this trend might fail, and then we'd sell a credit spread above. So That's the main thing, JP, is it's just very, very discreet and objective. And it works.
And Ryan, if we can cut across to my screen for a moment, I've got one of the signals that is active at the moment, and you can see that in this case, Mike, we've got a target of $17.39, but there's a confidence of only 23. And so basically what we're saying there is that it's more likely that it's going to come down to the fail zone before it hits the target. And in that case, you don't need to trade in the direction of the signal. You can actually trade against the signal and set the line in the sand up and go the reverse. And I know you've done a few of those trades. Can you explain a little bit how something like that would work?
Yeah, for sure. Well, first off, without the AI signals, I wouldn't touch this with a 10-foot barge pole because the stock gaps up probably on earnings and then it set a new high. And so until I got the AI signals, I wouldn't touch it. And so when I see the 23 there, it suggests that it's not going to get to 1739, maybe a small chance, 23% chance. And so what I'll do there is I'll draw a line in the sand, maybe at 1750, and make money anywhere below 1750, which is even beyond the target. And so it allows me to trade these reversals. And the good thing about reversals is, and I had to make sure I tested the data, but there was no way I would have done it in the past. But now with these signals, we can get a little closer. We can draw our line in the sands a bit closer to the stock and generate more return on investment. This is one of the biggest, I didn't mention this, but because I didn't think of it, but this is one of the other really cool features is trading these reversals.
Yeah, good stuff. I think you've opened our eyes to that as well. The original intent in designing the signals was a directional signal generated for the direction of the trade. That was the intent, in this case, long. But we've now come to the conclusion that there's just as much value in these signals when there's a low signal for a reversal. And we're using that across the board, and it's adding a lot of value to the trade setups that we're able to find. And I love what you're doing because I think we're doing the same thing. The whole idea of every time I trade, I have to try and double my money and all the things that I think traders used to think about, it was what was the percent to double in these option trades. That's just out the window. We don't even worry about that anymore. We do obviously have some trades from time to time where they're 100% plus winners. There was one the other day that Jeff did that was a 300% winner. So they're nice when they come. But what we're really looking for these days is more activity, and we're happy with 30 to 50% kind of winners, even 20, 25% winners, as long as we're turning them over quickly. I think that's the way that you can be successful these days with the way that the markets and market activity has developed. How have you found that kind of scenario?
Yeah, the way I think about these sniper credit spreads, I call them, is there was a movie called Moneyball several years ago with Brad Pitt, and he was the manager of the Oakland A's, and they didn't have enough money to staff their team with really good players. So they just went out and got players that could get on base. They could walk. They walked a lot. Those are the kind of players they want. They just get on base. And so this system, which over time tends to normalize at about a 90% win rate, the average gain 10% every 7 days, and that's with losers baked in. So think of it this way. If you're able to generate 10% consistently, you could take the same money and invest in a 7-day trade, make your 10% on average, and do it 4 times in the same month with the same money. And then you're starting to look at very meaningful monthly returns. Heck, 10% a month is phenomenal in trading. But 40%, 30% a month, getting on base makes a big difference, and it's taking a little bit, but taking it most of the time.
Yeah, absolutely. And I feel like it takes a little bit of time to sell, I will say, that concept to people who have got the mentality of, I'm going to trade, I'm going to use options, I'm going to use the leverage, I'm going to be taking, these huge profits out of every trade, and they're swinging for the fences, right? And that's the way that you create a lot of risk. And when you've got a lot of risk, when it goes against you, it hurts. And I think the approach that it sounds like we're both pursuing these days is really to minimize the risk in each trade and minimize the volatility in the returns. We just don't want to see big swings in terms of the profit that's in our account. We've found that over the years it's much easier for people to stick with a trading plan and stick with a trading methodology if they're not experiencing these big drawdowns. And I think the style of approach that you have really lends itself to that. So that's awesome. And you're demonstrating it. 16 wins in a row, all completely live on the YouTube channel. You're hanging it out there and you're proving that this stuff really works. It's not talk. So all kudos to you.
I wouldn't have done that had I not known it would work, because I've been trading this way for a long time. And to me, it's a fun game. Imagine a sniper in wartime. That's a good analogy, because we're at a relatively safe distance. We just want our 10%. We want to get on base almost all the time, and we just let the profits start to stack up. And it's very meaningful when you're generating that kind of return each month. It makes a big difference.
Absolutely. And so let me ask you, have you found any negatives with the AI signals? Is there anything that was kind of unexpected that you think is maybe a drawback, or you've had to adapt the way that you're trading?
I wish there was more of them. Other than that, no, not at all. It's been phenomenal. The AI signals, from what I can tell, only stack up. You might get a handful of trades every week, and that's every day, excuse me, and maybe it's 10, 15, 20, but we're grabbing them when they come up, and it's just working phenomenally well. Other than that, JP, it rocks. I love it. Thank you.
You're welcome. I think that what you've said there is exactly I'll say the only problem that we feel that we've come up with, which really we've also found that it's an advantage at the same time, because once you get on a run and you've got a number of these AI trades and you've particularly been successful, you kind of get addicted to that's how I'm trading. And if the AI is looking at the market and kind of makes the decision that there's not a lot of signals that can be rated highly, then you don't have a signal for the day. And so then you're kind of going, hey, I'm waiting for the next signal. I'm waiting for the next signal. But what we've actually found, and I'm curious to see if you would say the same thing, we found that the AI has kept us from overtrading, particularly at points when we shouldn't have been in the market. So we're conserving our capital. And yes, it's frustrating. We all want to be trading and in the market perpetually. But, there's times when the best trade is no trade. And I think the AI is actually helping our discipline there. So, I don't know if you found that, or if you've just found, you want more trades all the time.
No, I'm with you. Knowing when not to trade is a big part of trading. We don't have to put on trades every day. Now I have other techniques I can use outside of the AI, which I'll do from time to time, but you don't want to overtrade. This is really a conservative, high probability strategy. And I'd say probably the most difficult part, JP, is patience. And so the AI keeps you out of trades that maybe you shouldn't be in the first place. No forcing, just allowing the rules of the system coupled with the AI, and don't take a trade unless the signals are right, and then take them when they're right, and just keep rolling and following the rules. It makes trading a lot more comfortable and peaceful, let's say.
Yeah, 100%. And our plan, as far as being able to increase the level of activity, is that we've got a number of different AI models in the works. So as let's say we've got a directional model and a sideways model. We're working on breakout models and a penny stock model, and different models that should give different signal at different periods or different phases of the market. And so while the models we're working with and the signals that you and I are receiving at the moment may quiet down during certain periods in the market, if we've got a number of other models, they will hopefully be picking up the activity during those periods. So we might just switch from the type of signal we're using, but we'll stay with all those signals that have the high confidence level. And that's kind of the trajectory for the development of the AI that we're heading down. So it's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, I can't wait. Bring them on.
Well, Mike, so I should let you tell us how people can find you, and we can link any of your information down in the description to this video as well. But yeah, let us know how people can find you if they're interested in trading like you do.
Yeah. I have a community I built about 2 years ago. I've been teaching and trading for a quarter century. I used to have hair, JP. That's gone. But I've been trading and teaching for a long time. And what I saw was missing was community. And so what I've built 2 years ago is a community of traders, active traders, and they have access to each other. We have access, they have access to me. We know each other's names. We use words like love. It's a really nice community, and it's all about what is it really like to trade. Lots of psychology. The most important part of trading is psychology. So we deal with all aspects of trading. What's the real deal? Let's make money together. My community is making money, and I didn't see a lot of evidence of that in my 20 plus years of teaching trading, because I just couldn't tell if people were making money, and now they are. And the company is called Michael Wade Trade Coaching, and the website is mwtradecoach.com. And there you can find out more about what we do. We have various programs, all about nurturing your trading success with a lot of love and support.
Mike, thanks for joining us and chatting a little bit about the AI. I think there's going to be a lot of interest in it. And I think it'll be something that can really bring some additional success to people's trading, and maybe coupling that with a bit of mentoring and see what we can bring together in the future. But that's it, Mike. Thanks very much, and we'll see you next time on the Hub channel.
All right, JP. Thanks for having me.